Hello students, in this video I will be reviewing the beginning fundamentals of guitar. Coming up. My name is Pascual. I'm a musician as well as a music educator. And in this video I will help you review the beginning fundamentals of the guitar through three different aspects. These three different aspects are the guitar anatomy, or you can say the different parts of the guitar, how to sit with correct guitar posture, and finally, right and left hand basics. After reviewing and understanding the three different aspects of the guitar, we will try 2 exercises to start applying the knowledge. Before we begin the music lesson, take a quick moment to look for and click on the subscribe button below for more music review videos. Let's begin. The first aspect of the guitar we'll be talking about is the guitar anatomy. Here we can see a full-sized nylon string classical guitar. On the whiteboard, we can see the 3 different parts of the guitar. The guitar has a head, a neck, and a body. The first part of the guitar we will talk about is the head. Here we have the head of the guitar. As you can see, there are many parts to the head. There are 6 tuning pegs. Each tuning peg is attached to a string. So, if there are 6 tuning pegs, that means that there are 6 strings on the guitar. A tuning peg is used to tune the string if it is out of tune, or if you want to use a different type of alternate tuning. For my visual learners, the whiteboard on the screen has all of the information that I just explained. If you need to pause the video, you may do so to learn and absorb the information at your own pace. Moving on to the next part of the guitar, we have the neck. The neck of the guitar is made up of frets and fret wires that make up the fretboard. The fretboard is the front part of the neck. Here is the information that I just explained about the neck written out for my visual learners. Again, if you need to pause the video to learn and absorb the information at your own pace, then you may do so. Moving on to the next part of the guitar, we have the body. The body of the guitar is made up of several different parts. The first part we will talk about is called the sound hole. As the name implies, the sound hole is where the sound comes out of the guitar. The sound hole is also where the sound resonates inside the body of the guitar. The next part we will talk about is called the bridge. The bridge holds the saddle. The saddle is where the strings are tied down into place. Here's the information that I just explained for the body of the guitar, written out for my visual learners. Now that we have reviewed the 3 main parts of the guitar, let's move on to the second fundamental aspect of this video, sitting with correct guitar posture. There are actually 3 ways to hold a guitar while sitting down. These 3 ways of holding the guitar are the beginner or normal way, second, the traditional classical way, and third, the modern classical way. Now, I will demonstrate the beginner or normal way of sitting with the guitar. If you're right-handed, your right leg will go over your left leg while your left leg is firmly planted on the ground. This creates a nice alignment in your spine. This alignment in your spine will help your overall quality of sound. Now that we have our spines aligned, let's learn how to hold the guitar. Let's take the guitar and place this curved part of the body on our dominant leg, like so. And to hold it in place, we'll use our dominant forearm to hold it in place, like so. This is the beginner or normal way of sitting with the guitar. There is an alternate way to sit with this beginner normal posture if your feet cannot touch the floor. If your feet cannot reach the ground, I will show you one way to overcome this problem. I'm going to use my floor tom as an example. I'm going to place it in between my feet. And if you don't have a floor tom or a drum, that's totally okay. You can use a stack of books or a shoebox or something that will help elevate your feet off of the ground. Now that we have chosen something to help elevate our feet off of the floor, let's place our feet on whatever you chose, and you'll notice that our legs are elevated. This is an important part in playing guitar because we want to be as stable as possible while holding the guitar and sitting with nice upright posture. Let's take the guitar. Let's place this curved part on our dominant leg, like so, and take our dominant forearm to secure it in place. And now we're sitting in the alternate normal playing position. The second way of sitting with the guitar is the traditional classical way. This way of sitting with the guitar is most often used by classical guitarists, but not limited to the classical genre. To emulate the traditional classical way of sitting, we will need something that will elevate your non-dominant foot from the floor. It can be a shoebox, a stack of books, or anything that will help you. Today I will be using this device. This is called a guitar footstool. This is what I will be using to place my non-dominant foot on. Let's place whatever you chose next to your non-dominant leg and place it on top. What you'll notice is that your non-dominant leg is on a higher level than your dominant leg. This is an important aspect for the traditional classical way of sitting because you need this space right here to place the guitar in. Let's take the guitar. Let's place the curved part of the guitar in between the two legs like so. Use your dominant forearm to secure the guitar in place. And now you're sitting in the traditional classical way. The third and final way of sitting with the guitar is the modern classical way. The modern classical way is the most recent in history due to new guitar technologies that aid in this new way of sitting. To emulate the modern classical way of sitting, we must first talk about the guitar technologies that support this new way of sitting. These guitar technologies are called guitar supports. Here I have one of many guitar support models. It has 4 suction cups that attach to the curved part of the guitar and a padded bottom that rests on your non-dominant leg. Now I will show you how to attach this support on the guitar. Let's grab the guitar and place it on our dominant leg. Let's take the support and place the bottom suction cups on the curved part. Take the top suction cups and do the same. Double check that it's really on there so it won't slip. Next, make sure both feet are planted firmly on the ground, spine aligned. And finally, use this bottom pad to place on your non-dominant leg. And now, we're in the modern classical sitting style. Take a moment to find out which sitting position is best for you before moving on. I'll also leave a link in the description below for all of the guitar gear that I'm using. Now let's review the third and final aspect of this video, the right and left hand basics. Before we talk about any sort of finger technique or types of sound production, we must first label the fingers on both hands. The left hand will be labeled with numbers and the right hand will be labeled with letters. Left hand pointer gets number 1, middle finger 2, ring finger 3, and pinky 4. Right hand thumb gets P, pointer I, middle finger M, and finally ring finger A. Now that we have labeled both left and right hand fingers, let's start applying the new knowledge towards the two types of sound production. The two different types of sound production for guitar are an open sound and a concentrated sound. The way to produce these two types of sound for guitar is through two techniques using the right hand. The first technique is called a free stroke, which produces an open sound. The second technique is called a rest stroke, which produces a concentrated sound. Let's take a closer look at how to play these two techniques. The first technique we will talk about is the free stroke. Let's use our P finger for this technique. Place your P finger on the 6th string and slightly dig into the string before plucking it, like so. Now let's add both the digging motion and the downward pluck to create that open sound, like this. The next technique we will talk about is the rest stroke. Let's use the same P finger for this technique. Like the free stroke, dig into the 6th string before adding a downward plucking motion. Except for the rest stroke, when you add the downward pluck motion, your finger will rest on the string below, like so. As we can hear, the rest stroke technique creates a more concentrated sound than the free stroke. Now that we have covered the techniques and details of the right hand, let's take a closer look at the details of the left hand. There are several details of the left hand we will talk about. First, we'll go over wrist and finger position. Finally, we'll go over how the fingers actually make the sound on the guitar. As you can see, I have my guitar with me and my wrist is dropped. When your wrist drops while holding the guitar, it creates a space between the bottom of the neck and the palm of your hand. To see if you have enough space between the two, take a pen or a pencil and run it through your palm all the way to the other side. And if it comes out like so, then you have enough space. Also notice that my fingers are slightly curved, like the letter C. This way I have access to all the notes from above. When you have your wrist dropped, your thumb should be right here, right in the middle of the neck. Now that we have a sturdy hand posture, use the tip of your finger to press on the string. As you can see, I am pressing in this specific spot in the 1st fret. Let's call this the sweet spot. The sweet spot is where the string and the fret wire meet. Let's place our fingertip here to produce the best sound, like so. If you have any questions or concerns about any of the information in this video, please comment them below and I will answer them in the comments. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the like button right below this video. It greatly helps out my YouTube channel. So thank you in advance. Let's move on. Now let's test out these new techniques with two simple exercises. For the first exercise, we will be using our right hand. We will also be using free and rest stroke techniques. Place your P finger on the 6th string and using the free stroke technique, we will play each string 4 times each, like so. Now let's try the same exact exercise, but this time we'll be using the rest stroke technique, like so. Let's move on to the second exercise. We'll be including the left hand for this one. With our left hands, let's play the first 4 frets of every single string while using free stroke, like so. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the exercises. Remember not to rush any of the finger movements while doing these exercises. The whole point of these exercises is to gain greater finger control, not speed. Speed comes as a byproduct of proper finger control. Practice 5 to 10 minutes a day to gain this greater finger control. We made it to the end of the first lesson. If you enjoyed the content of this video, but would like a more personal and in-depth instruction to the concepts we covered today, consider booking a lesson with me to meet your musical needs. Lastly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below for more music review videos. I'll see you in the next one.